Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Real Riff podcast. My name is Bill Markey,
And my name is Thomas Angelo.
and this is it. This is the final episode for us to review Peacemaker season 2, episode 8, Full Nelson. Which
8 week journey.
this 8 week is fucking it's a trek.
Crazy.
Funny thing about the title, Full Nelson, a little Easter egg in itself. That is the name of a wrestling move. Full Nelson is where you lock, everybody's seen it. You lock your hands behind somebody's head with their arms, and then you just squeeze like that. So, like, as a pro wrestler myself, and John Cena obviously being a wrestler, like Full Nelson, I got a kick out of that.
Okay, that's
Maybe that's
right.
because you feel like isolated. But anyway, with this episode, it's written and directed by the man himself, James Gunn. And quick review of it: as Rick Flag puts everyone around him in increasing danger, the 11th Street Kids must convince Chris, aka Peacemaker, to join them. I'll go first. I'll go first.
Please take us away, Bill.
I'll go first. This confirms, and James Gunn, in his own wording, confirm the exact thing we've been saying for 5 or 6 episodes now. Season 3 is, he said never say never, but it's not going to happen. And he said, and I'm not quoting exactly, but this is about the bigger DCU. So literally the focus was not on, in my opinion, as we were saying, Peacemaker
or any of the surrounding characters,
it's about the DCU, and James Gunn said that himself. The fact that this ends on such a cliffhanger, and we have his brother Keith, who's alive in episode 7. We have Chris, who's in another dimension. We have 3 more Lex Luthor employees who cameo, so we've got 4 Luthor employees. We have so much going on, and when the episode just ends, I actually thought, wait, is there 9 episodes? And then I realized, no, that's it. So this is exactly as he said. And he said also, too, this season wasn't focusing on Peacemaker, it was focusing on Chris Smith. I'll give him credit there, because I feel like we barely fucking saw Peacemaker this year. Him doing Peacemaker shit. But I mean, literally, like, even they talked about, are you going to bring other characters back? And he said, maybe. He did say, we are setting up Keith for a role in the DCU. He goes, but I'm not sure where. And I feel like his interview sums up what we've been talking about. It's this season.
Not sure.
This season first, the only sure things seem to be setting up the DCU. And the other things are, yeah, maybe. But like you keep David Denham alive, and you're like, I have plans for him, but he said, I'm not sure where. And, there's an Easter egg to Lex Luthor in this, leaving a note for Rick Flag about his work on the portals. So clearly they're just confirming Luthor and Flag have a standing relationship going forward. They set up the Salvation world, which is a real world in the DC, which is a pretty large world. So is Checkmate, the organization, exists in the DC. They set so much shit up, but they're not doing a 3rd season. So, but they don't, where's it going to fit in the DCU? So that's not even what the episode was about. I'm just more frustrated about what, all these things that were like more setup. And where we don't know when the payoff is coming. This is MCU shit.
Do you want me to just say how I feel?
Yeah, I'm worse than I do, probably.
This fucking sucked.
Yeah.
This was terrible. And, all right, I want to make a few things clear. I've gotten a lot of comment. I was battling fucking wars on TikTok this past week. I was battling fucking war. You have no idea what I've been handling.
Yeah, you were.
Everyone thinks that I am just whining and complaining about this being bad and everything. If you enjoyed this, I want to enjoy everything I watch. I never go into something whining or being upset and wanting to hate on something. I don't even think that Peacemaker Season 2 itself is bad television. I actually think it's good television. It's watchable. It's entertaining. I am just disappointed in the writing. That is That is literally it. I could even get it. I'm even giving the filmmaking a pass. I don't love the filmmaking in Peacemaker. I've stated that, but I'll even give that a pass. I just think season 2 overall, the writing was lacking, and I feel as if the premiere episode, James had a certain path in mind for where this was going to go, and it was going to be about Chris's personal trauma. But then all these other overarching DCU things roped in. It felt like the Superman story was worming its way in too much. It felt like the perfect way I could describe it is like it just felt like there was such a great like starting base, and as the tower was like building up, James is like all the other parts of James' brain in the DCU were starting to slip in, and it was like tearing away, and it was making the writing more spotty and making things not make as much sense. Like even in episode 7, like the whole pool chase scene, like that was terrible. Like what even was that? It made no sense. There were so many things that did not make sense. But my biggest complaint with season 2 is this Earth X thing. What and why? What was Earth X there for? Like Earth X was not used to explore any of the other characters emotionally. You know, all the other characters end their arc naturally without any sort of opposition from the Earth X or learning anything different about Earth X. James Gunn consistently said that Vigilante was going to have more to do. He didn't. Everything that surrounded Vigilante was plot related, not character or anything like that at all. But again, like that's not to say there aren't funny bits. Like the bit of Vigilante just tackling and tasing Peacemaker, that was funny. That feels like something Vigilante would do. I actually got a laugh out of that, you know?
The way he yells at his mom and
the whole Vigilante and mom thing is funny.
And the way he just killed Augie.
Yeah, again, that was a good moment, but it also feels like wasted potential because that dynamic was so interesting that they set up with how he felt and about how he felt about his changing world and whatnot. But I did not think that they used the Earth X storyline efficiently to explore Chris or Peacemaker as a character. Because James is saying the season was about Chris. It doesn't really get into his trauma. And it seems like the whole resolution was him like realizing that he just needed to be himself more and like not take orders, and something along the lines of like everything he's around turns to shit or whatnot.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that not the plot line that he went through in season 1 with his dad?
I mean, that was mainly built around his brother.
But isn't that what the trauma was and how he was dealing with it and how he came to grips of how it wasn't his fault, it was the dad's fault, and he's not to blame?
And I think he was also carrying on the trauma of killing Rick Flag as
so
well in
when
the first
all of
season.
that stuff carries over into season 2, it kind of feels like a character regression, you know?
Yeah. And also too, they just kind of they try to balance this thing with him in Harcourt.
But like where the Earth X Harcourt, that goes nowhere. Why was Rick Flag regular, not senior? Why was he even brought back in Earth X? Because that led nowhere. It was just a stupid comedy bit.
There's a rumor he could end up down the road as returning as a different character, but
fuck that. Anytime, like the whole thing with James Gunn being like, oh, I don't know where David Dedman's Keith is gonna go, but you know, I have it there. It's in my back pocket. That's not good. That does not make the season overall good. This entire last episode felt like it could have been season 3 of Peacemaker. It feels like so many new character storylines and progressions are rushed like that. Like Rick Flag Sr.'s descent into like villainy. All right, listen. They established and built up well that after he received the files about how his son died, he was on this war path, revenge path against Peacemaker, right?
Right.
And he's not, and you know, as a result, everyone else is collateral on that. But I can't help but feel like it still felt rushed in this episode. I know people are going to go in the comments and be like, this has been building up. I can't help. I'm sorry, but I can't help the feeling of it feeling rushed. It doesn't feel like particularly him. Like it feels almost cartoonishly evil. How he was just, you know what I mean? It feels like cartoonish.
Well, the other problem with Rick Flag is, like you said in the beginning of talking about Peacemaker early on, that the thing that linked all the DCU projects so far together was Rick Flag.
Hmm.
But the Rick Flag that we meet in Creature Commandos is very different from the Rick Flag that we meet
Yeah,
here.
I mean, it's
So again, where's
I
the
will say something does carry over. Like he has a very oblivious nature. Like
yeah, but he's like a good guy in in Creature
yeah, yeah. I mean, he
Commandos.
gets like sideswept into that romance with the princess, and like he's very oblivious to certain things
Yeah.
and whatnot. But I can't help but feel like there's some sort of mischaracterization happening, like in some way, and it just I could see him becoming a villain. Like it makes sense in my mind. It just I
Yeah.
can't help the feeling of it feeling rushed. And the whole like them going into different worlds and the portals and the violence and all the Candyland thing and everything, it just felt like a different show. It did not feel like Peacemaker. It felt like maybe even like a season 3 or a spinoff. It just didn't feel right. And then on top of that, you have the whole rushed hardcore and Peacemaker romance where like it was building up, but I didn't feel it. All right, there's one positive I'll mention. I really like that they were like treating one kiss as like the end of the world. They didn't even hook up.
Yeah.
They didn't
It
even hook up.
wasn't
But
a
I
big
found
thing.
that
Yeah.
really cute and kind of romantic. Like
Yeah.
that they treated that kiss was so passionate and intimate that it was treated like the end of the world. Like I can relate to that. I can resonate
Yeah.
with that feeling. So I like that, but I can't help it's the feeling about this season. It's not like things were building up, but it was that middle stretch of episodes that killed this season really. Like 2 through 5 were really bad and just filler, and I felt like they were trying to break into Peacemaker's house for like 4 episodes,
That's
you
true.
know? And
That did take a long
but
time.
but because of that, the hardcore and Chris romance felt so stagnant. And then this last episode, it's like boom, 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 boom. Like we're
Yeah.
rushing through it. And her saying, yeah, it was everything. Like, of course it meant something. It didn't feel fully earned to me.
I agree with
Because
that.
then when he goes inside and you get the whatever the
He
the theme
celebrates.
song Neil drop, and I like that celebrating and everything, but in the context of what I just watched, like it doesn't fully work for me. Like in a vacuum, I like that scene. In a vacuum, I like a lot about Peacemaker too. Like the individual scenes, I love. Like there's so much about this season to like. It's how it all connects. You know, like in a
No, I
vacuum,
agree.
this is a good season. It's just how it all connects. It doesn't work. And what's really left on the cutting room floor is just the missed potential of things like Earth X and certain characters and certain character relationships. Like the whole Adebayo and her wife thing, they only had 2 scenes throughout this entire season. And then
That again, like
it
yeah,
doesn't
like
feel earned. It does not feel earned with the conclusion they come to.
and another interesting thing James Gunn confirmed for this episode, which I hate to sound like he wasn't focused, but like he talked to Ryan Reynolds about trying to get a crossover Deadpool to appear in this episode.
Yo, if that
He
happened, I would
was,
never watch the DCU ever again. I'm
I
so
guess, opening
serious.
up a dimension. He talked. He said we talked, but like to make that work, like they were going to maybe try to do what Deadpool Wolverine did with the dimensions and maybe have them. That's just my guess, but he did confirm
Dude, if that
they were.
happened, I would have shit on it even more.
Let me ask you a question. This is something that went through my mind throughout the whole
Yeah.
thing. Um, when we first reviewed episode 1, you said it was your favorite thing of the DCU. After the season's over and how we felt now, does that stay or has that?
The premiere episode specifically, yes. The
Yeah.
actual season as a whole, it's
No, but that
bottom of
episode
the
has
DCU
not been
rankings.
affected by what came
No,
after.
because I think it is a clear sign that there was something here.
Yeah.
There was something really cool here. We just didn't get that. So it actually makes it upsetting. It actually makes it more sad because it's not
Yeah.
like the entire season was garbage. You had the perfect jumping off point. It's just like instead of jumping into a pool cannonball style, it's like you jumped into an empty pool and landed on the fucking concrete. You know,
Yeah,
that's how
that's a
this
good way of looking
feels.
at it. And what didn't work for me too, it's like where they lost it was like the comedy didn't work for me this year. When Economos is trying to stall, I didn't laugh at all.
Yeah, it's
Like at
you bring
all.
up another good point. A lot of the characters feel like caricatures and not actual developing
Yes.
characters.
Like Economos was he was so much like they just told us instead of us seeing that he had maybe some issues. every episode he was like,
I have crippling
I I
anxiety.
I have paranoid trauma. I can't form a sentence. Like, I don't want to hear that over and over. I just want to see it.
And feel it specifically. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And like it was just so shoehorned. And like this year they were like vigilante, bad relationship with his mother. And like whatever, like with her girlfriend, but like nothing. It was just like,
I
here it
mean, the
is.
thing with Vigilante and his mom, that just felt more of like a bit, and I actually thought that was kind of funny.
I just thought it's the only thing they gave him.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Okay, in terms of that, yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's the only thing they
Or
actually
you know
gave him as a
the
character.
plot convenience of him having all the drug money.
Yeah, okay, that was funny.
But
But he was
but
like,
when you think about that from a writing standpoint, that was just a plot convenience to get them to
yeah,
checkmate. You
it
know?
was. Yeah. But I got to give them a little bit of break. I think he would do that.
Yeah, but you know,
He'd be like, of course I'm not using this money.
it does
Yeah.
somewhat feel a little earned. Like I will agree with you. Like that is
Yes,
something where I think it kind of works. Like, again, there's certain things about this season in a vacuum I think work really well. It's just how it all connects together. You
I
know,
agree.
and having this extended episode, but wasting so much of the runtime on these like pseudo music videos for these
Dude, there's
bands.
14 minutes left when the episode, like 13. And I didn't care for that ending. I'm like, why are we wasting 4 minutes on watching the theme song?
Mhm.
Like, I hated that scene.
It,
Like, I felt
it
like it was wasting
it
time.
doesn't work. It doesn't work. And to me, it feels kind of cheap that like what? So is Peacemaker's arc just ended by having Adebayo tell him that they love him?
I guess.
Like what about like it's in a vacuum, it's a touching scene, but it doesn't fully work for me. And then like, but I thought this season was gonna be about himself and his identity and his personal trauma and all these things. But then like it's like he's a happy go lucky, everything's fixed by Harcourt saying that like the kiss did mean something and that he's loved by his friends and that's it. So it's like
Like,
that's
how
it.
bad could
But like,
it have been?
but how does that connect with like the whole personal arc that he was going through? Because when you
Right.
really put it into context, the only conflict in this season was internal. You know, the internal conflicts of Rick Flag Sr. and the revenge path and Chris
Yeah.
and his trauma and things like that. When you look at season one, you have the external conflict of the butterflies.
Yeah.
And that's so much of the plot, but that's also a vehicle for exploring a lot of the other characters and their emotional arcs, and that's why it works so well. I think this season lacked a clear external conflict. And now that could have been Earth X, but it just wasn't
Right.
executed properly.
I kept waiting. Like, I was so excited at the idea in like the second episode. I even said to you, I go, Rick Flag is going to see his son.
I think things, and when you know the other Rick Flag pops up in Earth X, you're like, oh, that's where that's going. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
But then it's turned out that Rick Flag Sr.'s entire plan this entire time was to make this other metahuman prison just so he could throw Peacemaker in it. And it's just like, in a vacuum, that idea is really cool. It just, like that popping up in one episode and being fully developed and rushed, it feels too quick, you know?
I
Like
agree.
if we had learned in episode 5 that Rick Flag Sr. is planning a prison and then in episode 8 it comes to fruition, it feels a bit more earned, right?
Mhm.
This is just like out of fucking left field, you know? I don't know. And
No,
it doesn't even
yeah.
excite me for the future of the DCU, like this whole prison thing. And I even feel like Peacemaker and Superman crossing over is not going to work tonally. I honestly, I have no idea where this is going. And I think this is already falling into the trap of just MCU cliffhanger,
You have to serve the
dull
bigger
content,
picture.
serving the bigger picture, not telling complete
Yeah.
stories. I think it upsets me, and I know people are gonna disagree and complain, and that's fine. If you enjoyed this and you got something out of this, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Good.
I'm
Yeah.
really glad you enjoyed it. I think I'm finally at the point where I've just fully realized that modern superhero cinema and storytelling and television, maybe it just isn't for me, and I don't think it is. I just don't enjoy it.
You still, well, watch the Netflix version of Daredevil
Yeah, because I know that's very character based.
and Punisher. Yeah. Yeah.
But when you think about a show like that, it's like you have the internal conflict that Daredevil's going through, then you have the external conflict of, you know, the villain, you know, what's his name?
Kingpin, Wilson Fisk.
Kingpin, Wilson Fisk, yeah. And, you know, he probably has his own traumas that he's going through and
Oh,
everything
yeah.
like that, right? Yeah. So, like, it's very complicated. When you think of season 2, like Augie and Keith and Earth X aren't even external conflicts because they just come and go. You know, like they don't serve any bigger. I don't know.
It's like this season can be summed up by a few things, and one of them is like Michael Rooker. It's like let's just introduce something, spend some time on it,
What
then
was the
get rid of
point of
it,
that at all?
and it doesn't lead us to anything else. Like Eagly being this almighty being, nothing.
That
Eagly's
was
big
fucking
arc at
stupid.
like, but that to me sums up this that and again like just it's all about the MCU. I'm sorry, the bigger
But then you
DCU.
have Gunn being like, oh, but Eagly being the prime eagle, that's going to be important going forward. It's like, stop saying going forward. Like,
Yeah,
give me something now to chew on. And
yeah.
there was this whole hype train that James Gunn was like, I'm not showing anybody these final 3 episodes. This is my favorite work of all time. I wouldn't even put this in the top 5 projects that Gunn's worked on.
Absolutely not.
Like Guardians 1, Guardians 3, The Suicide Squad, Peacemaker Season 1, Superman. They're all much better than this.
Yeah, he made it seem like this was going to be like just a huge deal, and like yeah, during it, I like forgot about that because I was just watching. I was like, okay, like I like the excitement
And again,
because I guess I just lost the trust.
I don't even want to shit on the filmmaking even more, but that whole checkmate building and the scene of them walking in a row smiling, what the fuck was that? What that felt like a different thing. Like the whole thing of them walking in a row smiling, I'm like, this is a James Gunn like.
Is that when they were getting the money? Oh yeah,
No, it's when they're like walking in, but
doing
like
the
or
big,
walking
like,
out, and they're all looking at each other, smiling. I'm like, is this a fucking Disney movie? What am I watching?
Yeah.
Like what? What? Like this is James Gunn? Like I don't know.
yeah. At least when like the Guardians were walking, they all had something weird going on with their walk.
Yeah.
Like they were all just like kind of act. Yeah, I agree.
But that feels like so cartoony. Them all just walking and smiling at each other, like, oh, friendship and love wins at the end of the day. It's like,
yeah.
this is Gunn storytelling. This does not feel right. Like, I think this just fell apart. I thought this was absolutely atrocious. Like, it was really bad. Like, really, really bad.
This is one of those things like I told so many people and they took my word for it about Peacemaker season 1, and it's like the only reason why I'd say watch Peacemaker season 2 is just for continuity purposes. Like there's
Oh,
not
I hate that.
yeah,
That
in my
hurts my
opinion.
soul, though. Like, watch for continuity purposes. Like, watching things just to understand the bigger picture, that sucks. That's lame. That's why I've just come to realize, like, if people enjoy that, all the power to you. I'm really happy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not hating on it at all. I just, for me, that's not what I like. That's not what it is. So I think I've just come to the terms of, if this is the direction that Gunn's breaking this universe forward, I'm probably not going to tune into all the shows and everything. I'm maybe just going to watch the big movie releases.
I'll still probably give some stuff a chance.
See, but I think you just hold more stake in it still. You know.
Oh, I
You-
do.
You know.
Yeah. Oh,
and
I do. Yeah.
This is another thing where it's like you're breaking my minor stake in this game.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree. Yeah. Even like the one scene where like, you think you're gonna find out that his dad and his brother are these super duper Nazis and whatnot, and then his dad has a whole different take. He's like,
Yeah.
he's like, we didn't want this, but it's what we were born into. And then they kill him 30 seconds later. And I was like, I get the trope, but at the same time, I was like, there was more meat on the bone.
There was more meat in the bone. This season was as wasted potential, and
Yeah,
because God, that premiere was so good. That premiere was so good, and
it
it's like,
was good.
why and where? It just, the whole story felt like a mess. Like I really, it felt so messy, so all over the place. But in a vacuum, some of the scenes and some of the story points and some of the things are really cool and work really well. It's just when you put them all together, like James arranged in this order, it feels like the first draft of these scripts. Like it does not feel
yeah,
right.
it feels choppy.
And even in the moments where you could tell a different director worked on these different episodes, it makes it feel even more disconnected and disjointed. You know?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
It's-
I've compared this to Mandalorian season 3, which hurts my heart.
I haven't watched Mandalorian season 3, so
Yeah, season 1, season 2, I thought they were great. Season 3 it just felt like bleh, like kind of all over the place.
season 1 of Mandalorian, it's like perfect television.
Yeah,
But even the idea of a finale episode feeling so foreign from the rest of the show, I feel like that's a novel concept. It's just the way it's executed here feels so lacking.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to shit on this show any more than I have for the past like 6 weeks.
No, but this is being truthful.
It is just
Like,
being truthful.
I mean,
like,
in our opinions.
of the hype train that was surrounding this and everything. And the reason why I'm so passionate about this is because I really like season 1 and I really like Superman. And so I really want to be invested in this universe, but I'm not now. Like, it's upsetting, you know?
I mean, it is working to whatever extent. I know Superman and Peacemaker have been the leading, the most like watched like things on HBO Max. Like Superman
Yeah.
just set a record for viewings or whatever you want to call it for HBO Max, and I think Peacemaker was like right behind it as the second most viewed thing. So, I mean, viewings don't necessarily mean people liked it, but yeah, I mean, people kept tuning in, so I guess they did. It's not like they fell off, but yeah, I know we were just not really high on this season. Yeah.
And at the end of the, yeah, that's it. Like, it just, in full context, I just did not think this season worked. It was messy. It was all over the place. I think it was really missing some external conflict. It was really had some missed potential of some of the story moments. And this finale of just setting everything up for the future DCU and not concluding Peacemaker as a project, it leaves a stain on the Peacemaker character, you know?
It does, yeah. That he's just going to be.
That
It's like at the
there's no season 3 to redeem this. This is it.
right.
And they're probably going to make a show out of Checkmate or whatever. And because it already felt like Gunn wanted to get away from Chris and Peacemaker as a character, because so much of the season was just random side stories that went nowhere,
Yeah, true.
like Michael Rooker and Eagly and everything. So it's like it feels like he wanted to explore something else. Like I almost can like envision his brain writing this like going all over the place, like Peacemaker, Earth X, Sanctuary Prison, this connecting to that, Lex Luthor and his employees showing up,
It's
all these things. But
it's the Charlie Day meme
yeah,
from It's Always Sunny.
it's like I just don't think it works.
No, and this is season one. I think I watched two or three. I watched like three times. This is like not
No, I'm never rewatching this.
season.
Never.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
not there's no episodes that stand out as something you can rewatch. You know, they're all just
exactly.
they're all just set up for the next, and then even the finale is set up
It's a
for the
setup.
next. So
This is
it's
a
like,
setup for the next.
oh
Yeah,
my god.
I mean it's a real setup. Like I mean he literally is thrown to another planet, so you have to be like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, but watch Superman, Man of Tomorrow. Superman's just gonna rescue him from there.
Probably this will end up with yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be bullshit. There's not. It's
Yeah.
not gonna. I don't think it's gonna be anything interesting.
Yeah. Now we know how the oh no, Lex already solves says it in the movie when we were like how he got that baby kaiju and he's like different dimensions, but I forgot we do see he has those teleporting whatever tunnels or whatever they're called.
It's just like I don't know. This felt wacky and all over the place, and it just isn't for me. It just didn't work for me. I was gonna say, what's the next DCU project after this?
There's Supergirl, which is next summer, and we have Clayface in September. Oh, Green Lantern Corps. That I believe that comes out before Supergirl. That's early 2026. With
So we're not getting anything else DCU related this year. This is the final 2025 project.
that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Yep. They did announce at New York Comic Con, I want to say, which I'm very excited about in regards to DC news. It's the only thing I got. Is they're doing a three-part series, I believe, which I've been waiting for, animated for Batman Nightfall, which is the introduction
I don't
of
know what that
Bane,
is.
which is what The Dark Knight Rises was heavily influenced by.
And is it DC? Is it going to be in the DCU
No, they're just adapting as part of their animated like
side?
slate.
Okay.
And DC for the longest time has crushed it with their animated movies.
Okay.
So on a
What's
side
the one?
note,
I have Mask of the Phantasm. I haven't watched it,
that's
but
an
I just
early
have
one in the mid 90s.
I have the DVD.
That started like DC being awesome with animated features, and
Mhm.
Sub-Zero, which got nominated for I think I forgot for
Oh,
what.
Oscar nom?
I think
Wow.
yeah, I think Sub-Zero won something. But DC always does pretty well with their animated stuff. So, and as a big fan of Nightfall, that's the infamous shot where Bane is breaking Batman over his knee, which is exactly where Tom Hardy does it. So, as a big fan of the Nightfall comics, that was awesome. I've been waiting for Nightfall. So, other than that, there's not much DC like news. Like they just confirmed.
I would say I'm most excited for Clayface.
Yeah, me too.
That's probably the one
Just-
thing I'm most excited for. Supergirl, I don't really have much interest in that. The Lantern show, the only thing that has me slightly peaked in that is they said it's like True Detective, but I also just saw James Gunn saying, "Oh no, Lanterns ties heavily into the DCU," and not every time he's gonna say it ties heavily into the DCU, I'm just gonna look at that as a giant red flag.
Well, I mean, it has to. It's Green Lantern. It's not just Green Lantern. It's Hal Jordan and
Yeah, but
John
it's
Smith.
gonna be like it's
So
gonna be this whole True Detective mystery. Then it builds up to Luther's portals, and it's
yeah,
like,
yeah. And he's going to be like, Lanterns is going to set up Supergirl because he kept saying the Peacemaker is setting up Man of Tomorrow. So that's why Clayface, I am most excited because I'm like, sounds like nothing is necessarily.
yeah. If I'm hopefully thinking they're gonna just make a contained story.
Yeah. Even though he said it's in the DCU, which is going to be interesting because Clayface was not part of Slate One, Gods and Monsters.
Wait,
Clay,
wasn't he in Creature Commandos?
yes, but they killed him. So we don't know like where this is on the timeline of this Clayface movie. They kill him in Creature
Like
Commandos.
dead?
Yeah, but they don't confirm what Clayface that was because there's three Clayfaces.
All
There's
right,
Basil
this is
Carlisle.
fucking losing me already. Oh my god,
There's been three men who are.
so lame.
I think in Clayface they're telling the story of Matt Hagen. I could be wrong. Carlisle is the failed actor who wants to
Okay.
change his face to keep his career alive.
See, that's a novel like that seems
or
really
maybe that's
interesting.
Matt Hagen. I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Because this is based on that animated series one, right?
The two-part series which won them an Emmy, Feet of Clay.
That sounds
Yeah.
that whole acting thing. It sounds really interesting.
Feet of Clay is where Ron Perlman voiced Matt Hagen, aka Clayface, and they won an
Okay.
Emmy. I've
Okay.
shown you the scene where Batman to beat Clayface puts every character in a production truck on every TV, and Clayface can't help himself. He starts changing into every character because of like he's just like disturbed by
That
the image
sounds
that he
cool.
used. Yeah, no, and like that. I do like that they're basing Clayface off of those episodes as well. We just said
Well,
that.
just the fact that Clayface is getting his own movie before Batman gets his own movie in the DCU. That's like such an interesting idea.
I guess because like again, Clayface was not part of Gods and Monsters,
It was just a really
but
good pitch, apparently, right?
a good pitch and obviously very cheap compared to Batman.
Yeah.
Like there's no big stars in this movie. It looks like it's going to be like again, not maybe taking place in a lot of settings. Like this is clearly a cheap movie in a good way.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing a cheaper movie and seeing what we get out of that. So, but that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah,
This is like a long stare.
I just it's just because I don't even enjoy talking about this because it's disappointing and I never want to
I
just
know.
like talk so negatively about something, but I can't help it in this case. It's just what it is.
I know.
It is
We don't,
it is
we
what
don't
it is.
hate. We don't hate watch.
I know, but
Like,
I think a lot of people are gonna think I'm whining and complaining and like shilling and whatnot. But it's just like I would just full out come out and say like this is just not for me anymore. And I realized that it's just not what I look for. It's not for me.
yeah, yeah. And I'm more of I'm a lover of these things.
You
but
hold more stake in these things.
I call it like it is, though. I mean, I might be like more forgiving, but like at the same time, I'll call it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, my buddy recently watched The Marvels, and I made a really bad joke that I don't want to say out loud, but I told him to just harm himself. Like, I don't watch everything in regards to superhero stuff, but I do lean more towards it than you do. I took off my socks during this episode, trying to be smooth. They were Deadpool socks. So and I have
You're gonna try and throw that into the Deadpool tank.
I was literally like this while we were recording. I was like trying to, but yeah, I don't have anything else to say.
Do you want to
regarding
give
this.
season 2 of Peacemaker like a riff rating overall?
Yes.
You first.
Next.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Wow. There's things about it that I liked, but I'm not.
I'm probably gonna give it a 4 or a 5, and the reason why is because I don't even like some of the filmmaking elements of Peacemaker.
I know, yeah, you're big
so
on
that's
that. Yeah,
that's what kind of even
obviously.
cuts it down from the 5 is the filmmaking elements. I would have
Yeah.
if I liked the filmmaking, I would have given it a 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's 6. There's still thing like I love John Cena. There's certain I think I liked more things that were set up than I like things that were actually paid off.
I don't give a fuck about the setups though. It's just that
Yeah.
pisses me off even more.
No, that's
4 doesn't
upsetting.
really feel. I'm gonna give it a 5.
All right. Oh yeah, I'll give it. I'm gonna stay at 6. I still
Stay where you feel. I'm between a 4 or a 5 on this.
maybe if it wasn't for the opening, I'd be a 5. But I like the opening this year and the dance. I like the
I
first
do
one
kind of
too.
like the new opening, and I still really want to know if the up and down was the swastika.
I don't think so.
Like that would be so funny if it was true, and the fact that they added it to Fortnite and that would be like the biggest troll ever. That's hilarious.
It would be, but I don't see James Gunn. I don't know doing that. Like he weaved a bunch of politics, in my opinion, into this season. He doesn't seem like the guy who'd be
Not
okay
that
with.
greatly though. It is kind of just
Yeah, but yeah, I will hold steady at a 6. We'll probably hang up, then I'll go right down to a 5 after I think about it for
Yeah,
20 more seconds.
I'm at a 5, leaning towards 4 for Peacemaker season 2.
Okay. Well,
In
stay tuned.
terms of television, I was thinking we can cover that Welcome to Derry next.
I'm actually so down to watch that because
All
I
right,
like those two movies.
So for anyone listening, I think our next television show that we're going to cover weekly is Welcome to Derry, which I think starts at the end of this month. So we have some time before before we dive into more television.
And then in December, we will review Marvel's Wonder Man week by week.
The fuck is that?
I don't know. They just dropped a trailer earlier. Who's the guy? He was in Candyman. He was in the show Watchmen. He was in Aquaman.
Abdul.
That guy.
Yeah. Hold on.
He was almost in Furiosa.
Hold. Buffer for me while I look this up.
All right, buffering. Abdul the Butcher was a wrestler. Episode is called Full Nelson. Also wrestling. Nobody does a full Nelson in this episode.
Yeah. Abdul Mateen II.
There it is. Jesus, what a name. Yeah, he apparently is Wonder Man.
Ben Kingsley's in it too, and Ed Harris.
Wow. Oh, Ben Kingsley must be coming back as Travis Slattery from Iron Man 3.
Trevor Slattery.
Trevor, yeah. Wow, they keep getting BK coming back for the paycheck.
Yeah.
Those taxes aren't going to pay themselves. All right. Well,
thank you guys for listening to our Peacemaker season 2 reviews. If you've watched all of them all this way, then that's crazy because we did not like this season. But
yeah, no, not a big fan. Yeah.
A lot of hating, but it's not even hating. It's just real critiquing.
But John Cena also, on a wrestling note, some people know this, just had one of the best matches of his career as he's 2 months shy of retiring.
Oh yeah, I would say when is he done?
December 13th.
Okay, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it'll be on Peacock on Saturday night's main event, I believe. That's his last match. He just had a match this past Saturday that I didn't watch yet, but I saw highlights. People are saying it's like one of the best wrestling matches that's happened, just like period. Wow. At least in a long time. Yeah. So credit to Cena, busy man.
Yeah, seriously.
With all the shit that he has going on and still putting his body on the line.
Yeah, and you know what? Now I'm sure he's gonna fully focus on acting once he's retired.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because he's a guy, like a lot of wrestlers don't stay retired. Like Cena seems to have a lot of pride. And like I think he's
everything that Cena was given in this season, he does a phenomenal job with.
He does.
He's a great actor.
He's not a problem.
He's a shining bright light in terms of the season.
Yeah. No, he absolutely is. It's just he suffers from James Gunn and his approach to this season. So
yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching. Please, like, share, subscribe, leave a 5-star review, word of mouth, everything.
That's it. Bye, everybody.
Thank you guys for watching.